If only I knew what I know today, I would change a lot of things in my 20s, early 20s. Thank you guys for coming here again. I'm really excited to talk today about things that I wish that I knew in my 20s. It's going to be a very short video, so please stick around. Check out my last video. And I have my notebook here, so we're just gonna honestly get straight to it. So in this video, I really want to talk about things that I wish that I knew in my early 20s. I think that I've always had a lot of wisdom growing up, and I've always been kind of mature for my age, but it's a little different when you reach a certain age and you get older, and now it's like you're looking back and reflecting, and a lot of things kind of hit you a little bit differently. So number one on my list is enjoy your 20s, but get serious. And the reason I say this is because I feel like when you're in your early 20s, a lot of the time you think, oh, I have all the time in the world. I can have fun. I can do whatever I want, etc., etc. And it's like, you really don't. Like, once you hit 25, it's the age where you start to reflect, not only because your frontal lobe develops, but also because like you're watching all the people around you succeed and do better in life. And then if you don't take your early 20s seriously, you're gonna have to play catch up, and you don't want to get to that point. I do think that you should enjoy the present moment, because I think a lot of the times when I look back at the moments of my early 20s, I enjoyed my early 20s to the fullest, but I don't feel like I was fully present. And that's something that I feel like really hits home to me, because I think it's important to always remember that these people that you have in your life right now, they may not be in your life anymore. And a lot of the time you realize that people really just come and go, and they're in and out of your life. So I would say enjoy the moments that you have with people. Don't take it for granted, and genuinely be like really present with them, and get serious at the same time that you're enjoying it. You want to sort of this kind of leads me to my second point, which is don't let others dictate your life. Do what you want to do, but don't listen to friends or family. Like, know what you kind of want for your life. Write it down. Have a direction to where you want to go, because a lot of the times if you're just kind of cruising through your 20s, you're going to hit a point in your life where you're almost like, okay, I feel like my life is super stale. And you do not want to get to that point, because you're going to be looking at other people, comparing to what they're doing and you're doing. Like, I genuinely have the highest respect for people who are younger and in their early 20s, and they're really grinding it out and like really trying to get to their money, trying to get to their business. They're, trying to really understand how to budget, opening a Roth IRA, like having a savings, having multiple job opportunities, having multiple streams of income, really getting creative with life, because those kind of people are the type of people that are never going to allow themselves to fail, and you want to be around those people. Okay, it's okay to want to be in relationships, because I think sometimes you get comfortable with the idea of like wanting love, wanting career, wanting this, wanting that. Like, you want all these things, and sometimes you're looking at other people and you're like, oh my gosh, like it seems like they have it all together. Like, it seems like they have the career, the love, this and that. But focus on your journey. That's what I can honestly, that's my best advice that I can give, is like focus on yourself and your own journey. And if you feel like social media is really distracting, like if you feel like it is distracting to watch people succeed and it doesn't make you feel good, get off of social media and get your life together, because it's not going to do anything for you to be comparing yourself to other people when you're not really where you want to be in life, because one day you are going to be there, and other people who are not there are going to be looking at you going through those same experiences. The other thing too is like, don't waste time. Okay, like, you do not want to waste time trying to compare your life, or trying to do what mom and dad tells you to do, or what your brother or sister tell you to do, or what this friend is saying that they're doing in their life, and now you're like, maybe I should do that too. This goes back to my last point of saying You should have direction in your life. You need to choose one thing and you need to stick to that and keep grinding it out in that direction until you realize, you know what, this is not what I want to do. This is not where I want to go. I want to do something else, and then transition into that. That's the best way that I can say it. You have to stick out one thing. You cannot do multiple things. I know that you probably see it a lot of times in other people where they're like, oh, I'm successful because I did all of these other things, but you can't. You just can't. You're not going to actually be successful because you're not putting all your time and energy into one thing. Can you break it out? Sure. But at the end of the day, when you are, for example, let's say that you want to be a nurse. I don't know, it's just a random example. But let's say that you want to be a nurse, right? Be a nurse and stick it out till you finish school, until you actually become a nurse, and years later, or like a year or two later, then decide, you know what, I don't think this is for me. Because here's the thing, you don't want to get to the point where you have been switching different careers, different relationships, doing this and that, doing everything when you're really doing nothing, right? And then getting to a point where now you're 27, 28, 29, 30, and you're stuck in life trying to play catch up because you didn't choose one thing to actually go after. I hope that makes sense. Like, you have to find one specific thing, because if you're not doing that, then you are more bound to fail. However, do I think that if you are at the point where you are stuck and it's very hard for you to decide what to do or just to find that one direction, you definitely want to explore, right? You want to explore opportunities to see what you like and what you don't like. My third point, which is be selfish. Literally, be selfish. I wish that if I went back to my early 20s, I wish that I was more selfish. I really do. Because I was a people pleaser. And I would get into relationships and I would disregard what I wanted to do or my plans or my schedule to accommodate a man. You know what I mean? Or like to accommodate a friendship even. And it's like, you don't want to be a people pleaser, because again, it's going to lead you to have to play catch up later on. You have to get strict about what you want to do and get strict about yourself and your goals now, because you are going to not succeed if you're being nice. And don't be afraid to say no. Never be afraid to say no, whether it's someone crossing your boundaries, whether, someone is inviting you to go out, but you know that you have to stay and do homework, or you have to stay and do something for, college, or you have to stay and do something for a presentation for work, or you have obligations or responsibilities when it comes to, your job the next day or something like that, you want to be able to say no to people and put yourself first. It is okay to be selfish. I have found that I have attracted in my life a lot of selfish people and a lot of narcissists. And what's a common theme with those kind of people is they're very, very selfish. But what's another common theme with them is a lot of them tend to be very successful, because they are able to camouflage and adapt to their environments, and they're able to camouflage and adapt to certain situations and what they want in life, but also with people, while also maintaining their own boundaries. And this is why I say, like, you want to be selfish. You want to be the person that people respect, not the person that people take advantage or walk all over because you don't know how to set a boundary, or you don't know how to establish and say no. You don't know how to put yourself first. Okay? This leads me to my next point, which is pick a niche for your life. Pick a niche for your life, okay? What do you want out of your life? What kind of people do you want? What's the environment that you want to live in? Where do you want to be? Who do you want to be? Who are you, and what do you want to be, the person that is watching this? And what kind of life do you want to live? Write this down and try to execute it. It's not always just about manifesting the life, writing down the life, doing all these things. It's also about manifesting that desire by going out, putting action into it, knowing what direction you're going into, and being solid and grounded in your decisions and what you want to do. So the last point that I want to make, it's not something that I wish that I learned in my early 20s. This is something that I did do in my early 20s that I would honestly, like, this is, I feel like a personality trait, but I feel like this is something that I would honestly advise other people to do. And that is speak up. Say how you feel. Be the bad guy in people's story, even if it means that it hurts their feelings, but it brings you peace in your life. Okay, that's another aspect of being selfish in a way, but not necessarily. Like, one thing about me is I, no matter what, even till this day, but even like when in my early 20s, I spoke up. I don't care if it was me in a relationship with my boyfriend. If I didn't like what he was doing, if I felt like he was disrespecting me, if I felt like, you know, he was doing really shady, crappy stuff behind my back or even in my face, and it was making me look stupid, I always spoke up about it. Even though I knew that they would not like me after that, or that they would be like, girl, you're too much, I didn't care. And I will always forever advise that. You know, stand your ground and always speak up for yourself, because no one else is going to do that for you unless you have really good people in your life. And that's actually very hard to find. So speak up for yourself. Don't be scared for someone to, you know, look at you and be like, oh, I don't like you now. Or for your boyfriend to leave you because you spoke up about something that you felt like was disrespectful or it wasn't right. Don't be afraid of that. You know what I mean? Because this is your life, and this is the one life that you're gonna live, and you do not want people to play with you. Like, one thing about me, you're not gonna play with me. I don't care if, sometimes it's okay to play stupid, but other times I'm like, okay, now you're just making me look like a fool, and I'm not dealing with that. So those are a few things that I wish that I learned in my early 20s. On top of that, with a little piece of advice from me. So make sure you guys like, comment, share, and subscribe. I hope you guys liked this video. I hope it was motivational and inspirational to you, so you can get up and honestly be a boss bitch in your life. So yeah, see you guys in the next one.